right? One is the security situation that is very unstable. Last year was the reform or the judicial reform, and that caused a lot of instability in the ecosystem, which by definition in finance and economics doesn't help. The contrast to that, and I think that's the easiest way to think about Israel's resilience, is that if you look at the performance of the companies, or if you actually look at the number of exits that are happening right now in Israel, it's in contrast to A, the situation, and B, to what's happening outside of Israel. So the past 12 months, actually in the past 9 months post October 7th, has been a very strong year in terms of exits. And if you compare it to what happens in Europe and in the US, it's much better. Much more liquidity, many more exits, which, from perspective of someone that is not involved in VC, say all these corporates that are buying companies now in Israel, they believe in the ecosystem. They believe in these teams. They want to build here for the long term.
Right.
So it's very interesting to see that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of optimism. I think a lot of the negativity that people talk about seems to be mostly Israeli media exaggerations. They like to get us, worked up a lot.
The role of the media.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the role.
It's like, okay, they are fulfilling
that's what they're doing.
Yes, exactly.
They get us angry, so we watch and we click more. So there were a lot of exits since then. Do you think this is something that we're going to see more of and continuing? One of the themes that people talk about, startup nation becoming scale-up nation. When I spoke to Hanan Brand from the Israel Innovation Authority, he was saying, we had 1,400 startups, several 5 years ago, a couple of years ago. Now we have 600 startups.
Starting every year.
I think so. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. He says a lot because people just see there's so many great opportunities that pay well that they take probably safe economic opportunities. One, and two, a lot of companies, serial entrepreneurs that may get an exit and start a new one, what they're doing instead is they're scaling up and they're staying with their company longer. So he goes, it would be great to have more startups, but on the other hand, it's not necessarily negative. Do you think that the world sees us, since you've worked so much with teams abroad, do they still see Israel as the startup nation?